He's lived in Camden since the age of 5. Now, though, he's been stripped of his British nationality and is thought to be in jail in East Africa.
As a father, a British citizen, I'm worried a lot about my son. I've also got rights for my son to be helped, whether in the UK or abroad. And we would like to know about his well-being, his health, how he's treated.
Mahdi's family claim he's being punished by the security forces because he and some of his other Muslim friends refuse to become informants.
They accused me of being an extremist myself without evidence, and then they said the only way you can get rid of this taint on your name is if you help us and work for us. Otherwise, wherever you go, we can't protect you and we can't do anything for you. So it's a threat or a blackmail.
His friends have set up a Facebook campaign calling on the government to give him back his British nationality.
Well, from a non-Muslim perspective, he didn't treat me any different to any of these people standing here. So I don't see why he's listed as an extremist.
His family say Mahdi felt harassed by MI5 and so went to live in his parents' homeland of Somalia 3 years ago. According to them, he got married there.
But earlier this summer, the Home Office said they were revoking Mahdi's citizenship because of his extremist activities. They refused to tell us what exactly that means, but in a letter to the family said the decision was based upon secret evidence.
Shortly after, Mahdi disappeared.
You should be able to ask a few questions at least of his whereabouts, of why, of what made you decide to take his citizenship away from him.
There have been reports that Mahdi is being held in prison in Djibouti, next door to Somalia. But his family want concrete answers and government help. At the moment, they have neither. Sikandar Kamani, BBC London News.
This is Mahdi Hashi, an ordinary 23-year-old British Somali Muslim. But now, Mahdi is no longer British, because the UK government decided to take away his citizenship. His crime was that he simply refused to cooperate with the British intelligence agency to spy on other Muslims. Mahdi grew up in the UK from the age of 5 and was a British citizen. It was in 2009 when Mahdi and 4 of his Muslim colleagues were approached and harassed separately by British security agents. They claimed that MI5 threatened to label them Islamic extremists if they refused to become informants for British intelligence. Mahdi's lawyers say that because of the intimidation in the UK, Mahdi went to live in Somalia for 2 years when he mysteriously went missing this summer. Mahdi's family received information that he might be illegally detained and tortured in a US anti-terror base in Djibouti.
We think he's in custody of the Americans, but we don't know. We are trying to get help from the Home Office and the Foreign Office. But what they're saying is that because he's no longer a British citizen, and therefore he's not entitled to any sort of assistance from the British government.
Mahdi's family are still looking for answers. They want to know where their son is, whether or not he's still alive, and why he was stripped of his citizenship. I contacted the Home Office to ask them these same questions. They replied by saying they don't comment on individual cases. They also gave a similar and what could be described as an unhelpful response to Mahdi's family. The Home Office spokesperson said, "It has been the policy of successive governments neither to confirm nor deny speculation, allegations or assertion in respect of intelligence matters."
They have not provided any evidence, and they've not sort of charged him with anything. They've not produced him before a court of law in England, because these are serious allegations to make. You know, somebody extremist, sporting terrorism, etc., or being a terrorist, and he has no chance of actually challenging that at the moment. You know what I mean? So that's why the family are concerned and have resorted to dealing with the press and the media to see what pressure they can bear on the British government to try to assist him.
Britain's foreign policy concerns over conflict in Somalia have caused an upsurge of Somalis in this country being targeted by the secret services. Rights group Caged Prisoners recognise this and have called upon Muslims to be more vigilant if approached by security services.
And many people are very afraid to come forward, and they are intimidated. They are told with people with state powers behind them saying, don't tell anybody. And it almost works like domestic violence and domestic abuse. And what we do is we advise people and say, look, you must notify a lawyer, notify an agency like Caged Prisoners, and then what we'll do is we'll prepare what we can, and we'll try to assist them. But we don't know the extent to which this is happening, but the anecdotal evidence suggests it's very widespread amongst the Muslim community here.
Hassan Al-Khatib, Press TV, London.